this is actually where the road trip starts. I am currently at work. I just got finished charging. It was a little cold out, so currently my range is at 305 miles. So typically before every road trip, I fill up all the way as much as I can because I don't have charging at home. Tomorrow's Friday, I have the day off. So I might be doing some driving tomorrow before I take my road trip on Saturday. So I like having that extra buffer. So I just got home, and the first thing you'll notice when you do charge your car all the way up to 100% is first that the acceleration is just insane because it is fully charged. It's got so much potential energy ready to push the car around. But also your regen braking is almost non-existent. It feels a lot like a gas car when you let off the accelerator and it just cruises. That's because the battery is fully charged and there's nowhere for that extra energy to go, so it just ends up causing the car to cruise. So like I mentioned earlier, I'm back at my apartment complex now, and I'm already down to 296 miles. I don't have charging at this apartment complex, which is again the reason I charged up all the way. I've got to have that extra battery percentage so that I can make it to my destination on Saturday. After driving around on Friday, we've got about 200 miles left of charge. Today we're doing a trip from Columbus, Ohio to Ohio Northern University, which is my alma mater. Going to be visiting some friends up there. This is an easy road trip, I think, because we've got plenty of charge to get there in one shot. We won't need to stop to charge it all. And there's actually charging at the university, which is very fortunate, so I'll be able to plug in there. Alright, so we're about 20 minutes out from our destination. Been able to use autopilot most of the way, which has been awesome. I really like that for road trips. Unfortunately, we've been on some back country roads, so it's not as good back there, but on the highways and long, like simple roads like the one we're on right now, it does great. What's making this whole road trip possible is that there's destination charging where we are going. And honestly, I think that is way more important when you're on a shorter drive like this. If you don't have a place to charge before you reach your destination, having somewhere to charge when you actually get there is very important. So we'll check in again when we get to our destination and show you the charging situation there. It's actually the next morning, and we've been plugged in charging overnight. We plugged in with about 85 miles last night, and we're all the way up to a 90% charge right now, about 275 miles. Plenty of charge to get all the way back to Columbus. All right, so one thing you definitely want to check before you plug in somewhere is what kind of charger they have at whatever destination you're going to. So right here is the J1772 plug. Since I have a Tesla, I have to use an adapter to plug in here. So definitely something to check and make sure whatever destination you're going to has the right plug and you're able to actually plug in at your destination. So the car is saying we have an estimated range of 275 miles. We've got about an 83-mile drive back, but that isn't always completely accurate. That 275 miles might be closer to like 250. So once we get back and kind of along the drive, we're going to be checking in to see how accurate that range meter is. Alright, so we're about halfway through the trip right now, and I wanted to show you the energy screen because that is a more accurate representation of your range. So as you can see, our meter up here is showing that we've got about 220 miles left, but that's only at the rated watt hours per mile. A better indication of what your range is actually going to be is your projected range right here, and that actually takes into account how you've been driving. So right now it's only a 20 miles difference, but if I'm like speeding a lot and driving really aggressively, then my range is going to drop. Alright, so we just made it back and we've got 182 miles left on the range meter. What do we have when we left? It was 275 and it was an 83-mile drive. But if the meter was 100% correct, we should have had 192 miles, but obviously with different conditions, having the HVAC on, having seat warmers on, plus inefficient driving can change that as well. But overall, pretty easy trip. I think the most important thing when you're doing a shorter trip like this that your car can do without stopping to charge is making sure you have enough charge when you leave and making sure that there's a place to charge when you actually get to your destination. I think that's of utmost importance when you're driving an electric car. But overall, very easy trip, I think. The car handled it wonderfully. Autopilot was awesome the whole way. So if you have any questions about road tripping, especially a short road trip like this, I'm planning on doing another video on a longer road trip where I do need to stop and charge, and it's longer than an hour-and-a-half drive. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give me a like below. Again, if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I answer every question that anybody gives me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.